Once you know a little bit more about your audience, you also want to know what is their preferred way of communication. In this video, I'm gonna go over 4 different preferences, 4 different styles of communication that you can recognize for people and also use to connect better with their preference. So, the colors are fiery red, sunshine yellow, cool blue and earth green. So this is based on the model of insights discovery, based on the preferences that Carl Jung, a psychologist from the last century, described in his work. We won't go over the technical details and the whole psychological framework below it, because I want to make it very practical. So let's go over those 4 different styles and with tips how you can adapt your communication to each of these preferences. So first of all, cool blue. So how you can recognize this color energy is people that are a bit more analytical, more data focused. You find a lot of people in the data space who have this preferred way of communication. So if you recognize this, you know they have a need for detail, to go deeper and more time to process information before making a decision. So what you do when you talk to people with a preference for cool blue energy, you send the work in advance. Give them the space to think, to come up with questions and not cut them off. Also what you can do is meet one-on-one. Ask for their opinion, ask for advice and give them space to think. So what you don't want to do is to pressure them to make a decision quickly, especially if they don't have the full set of information yet. So then second, fiery red. You can recognize fiery red when people are focused on actions, focused on goals, focused on results. They usually have a high pace of speaking, a high pace of making decisions. And what you can do when you meet such a person with that preference for fiery red is get to the point quickly. Focus on decisions, so help them make decisions and give them options. Be assertive in your delivery. Don't be vague, don't be standing like this in a very inassertive way. You want to show confidence. You show that you have analyzed your data and these are the recommendations. So what do you think? A or B? That's how you would like to communicate with a person who has a big preference for red energy. Then sunshine yellow. You can recognize people with a preference for sunshine yellow because they have a lot of energy. They love to work together, have fun and don't want to be bored. They love the interaction with others and are very spontaneous and can be hasty in their decisions. What you want to do when you present your data to them is use storytelling and paint a vivid picture and try to connect your message and your recommendations to a bigger vision. So focus on the bigger picture. What you want to avoid is details, a lot of technical details if they have not asked for that. Feel free to be creative. Show some visuals and don't be boring, because this creativity is really something that many people with a preference for sunshine yellow energy appreciate. Then we go to the last color, earth green. You can recognize earth green energy when you see people relaxed, more calm and giving a lot of space for others because they would love to keep the harmony. They don't like conflict. So what you want to do is get to know them on a personal level. Ask questions, be interested. Not just about work, but also about the personal life. And in your data presentation, translate the data and the insights to the impact on people. So what is the impact on the employees, on the customers? Because this is something that many people with a preference for earth green will be interested in. So don't behave in an autocratic way. Because with the type of earth green energy, they might say yes, but actually mean no. So if you push them too hard, they might comply, but not follow up or not agree, even though they don't say it directly in order to avoid disagreement. What is very important when it comes down to these preferences, that the 4 types don't exist. Of course, there are 4 types of different communication styles, but not 4 types of people. Because of course, everyone is unique. Everyone brings their unique qualities, skills, interests, and personalities to the table. But it really pays off to think more about, hey, this person that I'm about to meet, the meeting that I have at 1 p.m. with this stakeholder, what would be his personality? What would be his preferred way of communication? And then see what can you do with the information. How can you shape your message and your communication in a way that suits his needs? And of course, I don't mean become a totally different person. You need to stay you, because that's what makes you unique. But by making small changes, like 5-10% in your focus, in your communication, by being a bit more to the point when you meet a person with fiery red energy, that makes such a big difference. Second point I want to make is that it's quite difficult sometimes to recognize which communication style people prefer. So in that case, I always suggest, instead of assume, just ask people. So when you get into the meeting, you say, before we start this meeting, I have a question to ask. What would make this meeting effective for you? Because I would like to keep that into account in the coming 30 minutes. And then they will say something about, I want to make this quick, or I want to go into the details of the process that we're about to discuss. Or let's make it fun. I really enjoy collaborating and brainstorming about new ideas. So this will tell you a lot about their preferences, and then you have the ability to change the communication if that's something you want in order to become more effective, and make the meeting a little bit more to the point if that's something they appreciate. So the next time you present your data, take a moment to think. Take a moment to think and ask yourself the question, who am I speaking to? What is their preferred way of communication? Because that really makes a difference between presenting insights, people leaving the room and nothing happens, and people leaving the room enthusiastically, taking action and bringing your insights into impact.